G'day guys, it's Mike here from Outback Kitters. We're on beautiful Bribie Island up here in Queensland. Today what we have behind me is the new 2024 Chev Silverado 2500. Now, this runs a torsion front end suspension. We've been working with the team at BDS. They finally released the 3-inch Coilover Conversion and it has transformed this ride. And so we've got the team here from BDS Suspension all the way from the United States. So we're going to run through the 4x4 show, check out a whole bunch of rigs, and then shortly after that we're going to go for a quick run up Bribie Island. So some of the cars of what we're going to have down on the beach, obviously we've got these guys here, just brilliant adventures, Ram 3500. So they did have just a standard 2-inch lift. We've ripped all that out. We've done the 3-inch lift with the radius arms as well. Right. Just looks a little bit nicer. It stands a little bit taller.
Well, and you got the Performance Elite shocks, right, that are adjustable. Yeah. Huge thing when you're carrying that kind of weight, still a tweak and tune, right?
Yeah, and honestly, these guys have been around Australia a few times now with standard shocks. They change this. Chalk and cheese, I honestly don't think they could be any happier as well. So,
excellent.
We'll see what else we got going on there.
Sure.
So this has been my baby for the last 2 years as well. So Ram 1500 Limited, we're on that 4-inch air ride lift kit. And honestly, since we threw that kit in, it absolutely transformed the ride as well. So now you've got the Fox 2.0s in the back.
Yep. So it's a really unique package that you can only get from BDS on these air ride kits, and just kind of how we go into the system and make them ride correctly at the increased ride height. And then this thing, obviously with your bumper and everything, built out so sweet. Yeah. Really cool truck, absolutely cool.
The biggest stigma that we always get is, if I lift my truck, how's that going to affect the ride? And not everyone understands when you say it actually rides a hell of a lot better. So
anytime you can get more up travel into the system, you're going to be happier with the ride quality.
Yeah, right. The Fox Performance Elites are probably the biggest seller that we have here as well, because everyone's throwing a lot of weight, but they don't want to compromise on that quality.
Yeah, you get that adjustability, you can handle different or larger events, change that compression. Such a big thing, right?
Well, so what I do want to do, I want to run you upstairs. We got the Fox guys upstairs.
Yes, we do.
I got an F-150, the 6-inch slip. This thing looks absolutely mint, so let's go check that out.
Yeah.
Awesome. F-150, the biggest thing in Australia right now.
Yeah, so new product in Australia, right? So we've got the BDS 6-inch lift. Obviously, you got the Fox Performance Elites, the BFGs and the Method wheels, right? It makes the whole package, but we love this truck. It rides so good with this kit on it, right? It's a full kit when we say that. We're doing the upper control arms, the steering knuckle, the drop cross members, and like this one's even upgraded to the recoil traction bars.
Yeah.
So again, you start getting out in the sand and you get that little axle wrap, that all goes away with this thing. So it's a beast.
The recoil traction bars are probably the biggest focus for us right now, but it's not so much for like your F-150s. It's the bigger boys that have a lot of that weight on, that are towing and that are suffering from that axle wrap. Because especially when you get the big ones and you're starting to tune them to get that extra bit of power, I don't think everyone's quite realizing how much of a difference those recoil traction bars make.
You start watching that spring under acceleration with all that weight and the large tires and everything we've done, right? And that increased ride height, that recoil bar really plants the rear end. And the one benefit that people don't notice, we're thinking about acceleration, right? As we're going, spinning tires, under braking. Huge difference under braking, especially if you're towing a caravan. Huge difference with the recoils under braking, kind of controlling that rear.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to have to throw that on my Chev 2500 next. So now I got the Coilover. I think it's going to be the best riding Chev around here.
It should be.
Well, what else do we reckon we've got to find around here?
There's
a few more rigs?
A number of BDS trucks out there. We have to go check them out, right?
So we've got another rig. This one's going to be here on our beach run as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's the GT Rebel. These have actually been hot property here in Australia. So it's kind of like the T-Rex's baby brother. So you still have like the hand shift paddles. You've got like the full T-Rex interior. It still runs your 5.7 Hemi as well. But air ride suspension. Another best product that you guys have here is that 4-inch air ride kit as well.
Yeah, these things are great. They're fun to get out and kind of play with too. They move really well. Give them a little bit more up travel, a little bit more tires on this. They're fun in the dunes and in the desert for us. So it'll be a lot of fun to get this thing out of the beach later.
Absolutely.
Hanging out here in the Outback Kitters stand here at the show, and we've got something that's kind of a first for us and definitely a first in Australia. We've got the 3-inch coilover conversion for the 2020 and up GM HD trucks. That's your 2500 and 3500 trucks. And so what this does, we'll get in here and take a peek. So we're getting rid of that factory torsion bar system, you know, with that kind of wind up type feel. We're converting that to a Fox 2.5-inch diameter Performance Elite coilover system. So what this gives you is a very, you know, performance-oriented ride with a DSC adjuster, so you can adjust the high speed and the low speed compression of this coilover, something you could never do with this GM HD truck. Along with this system, we keep the factory knuckle in place, and all the geometry is kind of tweaked with a lower control arm and an upper control arm replacement. We use OE style ball joints and rubber bushes in the frame at both ends. So you get perfect alignment specifications, but all the performance of that coilover conversion. We offer this in both 3-inch and 6.5-inch ride heights, all depending on what you do. My opinion, it's the greatest thing you can do for these really awesome trucks.
Checking out the kit, eh?
Absolutely, yeah.
Pretty happy with it, obviously. The torsion lift has been great, but to do this coilover kit, I know it's just going to transform the market over
Yeah,
here,
it's
right?
just a huge difference. And you know, it took a minute to get everything right for the 3-inch lift height, get the spring compliance correct, but it really changes these trucks completely.
It's absolute chalk and cheese. It didn't take you a minute. It took you a few minutes, quite a number of minutes. But honestly, like, I think what we got to do now is we got to take this thing out on the beach so you boys can see how this handles off road, because we've only seen what it feels like in a car park over some speed humps.
Yeah.
So
Well, and it's like, it's killing us to see it here. Let's get out and play with it, right?
Super keen,
let's
man.
check it out.
All right,
Absolutely.
Down. Let's go. All right. Nice and close to Brizzy, and we just thought we'd take you for a day out of driving. What do you think?
Oh, this is amazing. Driving on this soft sugar sand, good group of trucks, can't beat it.
Yeah, mate, so we do have a few friends that have come along for the day, and they're all running BDS Suspension, of course. We've got the white Chev running the 3-inch coilover kit that you guys so kindly got to us in an absolute hurry. And behind that, mate, Bobby in a Tundra. That actually got installed last night, mate. So just a 3-inch coilover with the Performance Elites, the 2.0s in the back. And then we got Matty from the Explorer Life and the almighty Rebel GT. So that's got the 4-inch air ride kit, and obviously that's what you're in now, and it rides beautiful. Roz and Dave in their mighty Ram 3500, so the big rig there, decked out for touring Australia, and they've got the BDS 3-inch kit with the radius arms as well, and that thing rides like an absolute dream for such a heavy rig.
Very, very cool truck.
And then let's not forget the mighty LDV at the very end there, capturing all the stuff that we're doing today. Let's circle back here, mate. So here we are, Bribey Island, and you know the sun's come out, so we've had a bit of a wet run here, so the sand's been a little bit hard, but testing this thing out on the sand, off-road, what do you think?
So much fun, right? I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of sand dunes back in Michigan, you know, southern Texas, you know, on the Gulf Coast, but the fact that you guys get to do this, you know, in your backyard, it's a great spot to test suspension, right? You can play with that DSC adjuster and really see what this thing will do as far as soaking up all that soft and hard sand like this, so a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and obviously obviously we've got a few of our other friends here and they're all running BDS suspension, and they're obviously picking your brain how to get those DSC shocks set up correctly as well, and I know they definitely appreciate the knowledge that you guys have to make sure that the ride's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and with that, you know, it's always to that person's preference, right? What I might like, somebody might not like, and everything. So it's just making sure that people are comfortable, you know, turn the knobs, count the clicks, and play with it until you're happy, right? You will find something that makes you happy in there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now I guess in terms of your time here in Australia, it's been your first time.
Yeah.
So you've seen a lot of decked out rigs here as well.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? When we got here for the show, just the amount of modified vehicles, that's something that we, you know, kind of take back. You know, you think about areas like Texas and Florida for us are heavily modified vehicles. They don't hold a candle to all the modified trucks here, right? You guys, every truck has something done to it. Suspension, you know, camping gear. That's the one thing that, you know, I've noticed the most is just everybody is customizing their vehicle to their taste or how they use it, which is super fun to see all that, and, you know, makes us want to be a part of it even more, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, mate, this has been awesome. It's been good fun. Appreciate you coming out.
Yeah.
Guess we'll head home, crack a beer, and call it a day.
Let's go play.
Excellent. Cheers, mate.
Take care.